Hello out there, people. Welcome to Classic Corner. Today we're going to talk about ghosts and other supernatural stuff, and also UFOs. That okay? I'll be putting the link very soon. I hope come here. Okay, they will come up and tell their story. I have the link pinned up. Oh, hi, Betty. How are you? Yep. If you want to come up and tell your story that you might know somewhere, you're free to welcome Allison. Hi, Allison. We're ready to come. Come. Anybody want to tell their scary stories or supernatural thing? You're free to come up. Hey, Toodles. How are you? Thanks, Allison. Well, let's see. What kind of story we want to hear? I can start to tell you guys. Hmm. Give me a few seconds that I can think of one. Yep. Okay, I'll tell you one of them. Story. Start and okay. Oh, okay, listen. I understand, but thanks for coming. Okay, here's a story. Okay, Allison, that's cool. Okay, here's a story that I have. I'm going to tell you guys. Story. Let me think of one scary story. Okay, a long, long time ago, in my hometown of Tijuana, Mexico, there was this house. And in that house lived a middle-aged man named Joseph, or whatever. He had two daughters. One was one was married, and they met her husband in the same house. Like graveyard shifts. Come home around um, like 3 in the morning. So the husband was um was sleeping with a single sister every day. Every day when he got home from work, every day when he eh, how is this? Okay, Oh, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back right now. Well, the husband would had an affair with a sister, with a single sister. So one night, the married sister heard a noise in the she heard a noise in the house. Boom, and then she noticed somebody was walking, and then she saw that her husband was coming out of the bedroom of her sister's bedroom. He was co- he was coming out. So the married sister went to her dad's uh, 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 door or something and grabbed the dad's revolver and shot her husband in cold blood. In cold blood. The police came and they were trying to figure out who killed them and everything. When the father came, he said that he killed them. My daughter didn't do it. I killed the man. I killed this man. My daughter's had nothing to do with it. Okay. If you want somebody, it's me. It's He says, okay, the man, the father was arrested and convicted for the crime and sent to jail and died in prison. Oh, good. Oh, cool, doodles. Cincinnati, a Buckeye State. So the um, the dad died in prison years later, and and the, let me hold on. I'm not much of a tell the stories. So the husband, so the father died in prison. This happened like around the 1930s. That as years went by, there, the house was right across the street from a park, and that park's uh, um still there. As a matter of fact, when I was a toddler, my mom and dad used to take me to that park, and we would spend Sundays or Saturday days in that park, and I would play in the swings and everything and that. And then after that, we will catch it. We will go walk a block and a half away, catch a movie or something. And legend has it that people claim that they seen a man, uh, you know, this old man walking, wearing this old, suit from the 1930s, and they say that the man. Oh, hello, am I still buffering? Okay, okay, I'm back. So they claim that the man um, appears in the park asking for directions, and later on he'll disappear. And that park still there. Yeah, have fond memories of that park. Those were the days. Oh man, I wish somebody could come up. Well, yeah, God, I wish I could find a book uh, of of scary stories. I had one, but I can't find it because several weeks ago I moved. I moved a lot around here. Oh, coffee. I like coffee. I only drink one cup of coffee a day. But when I go to a restaurant, oh man, I think I drink about five.
Hey, Carlos,
I,
can you hear
I,
me? Can you hear me okay?
yes, I can hear you very well. Thanks for coming back.
Okay. I got coffee, so that usually helps. Um, I got a question for you.
Okay, what's up? What's up?
This, all these different reports and stories I've been seeing on La Llorona,
On who?
are they, they call her A La Llorona or La Llorona, about the mother in the white gown that drowned her children.
Oh, yes. That's an
Is
old.
that just myth or is that
It's
based
only
on
a
truth?
myth. It's
Okay.
only a myth, kind of a based on true story, but it's told in our culture for years. As a bedtime scary story
To
for
scare the
years.
children, to keep the children from
Yeah.
going. Okay.
Oh yeah. My mom told me that her grandfather used to scare with that story.
Well,
It's been going on for years. It's a very horrible story.
right.
It
What
goes.
about? Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of people and a lot of these paranormal investigation teams
Yeah.
are going off on that, and they're going to, oh, they say you can see or hear, and they're not
Yeah.
even where the story originated from. I mean,
Well,
it's like,
there's one version that originated. They say originated in Mexico City back like in the I think it was back in the 17th century.
mm,
17th century. They said it was a girl who was a poor, peasant girl who falls in love with this army officer. The army officer
mm,
was from a very wealthy family, and the woman had falls in love with him. They have children, but the
right,
but the but the army officer's parents, didn't know nothing about it until for some mysterious reason the father he found out about it, and he was and he reached out and told him, "What are you doing with that kind of people, with that kind of trashy people? You're gonna marry somebody of your class, okay? That's it's
right.
already set. You're gonna marry this, and so it's already said, okay, no more." And the officer, the army guy, said, "Well, okay, Dad, whatever you say." So a couple days later, the church ceremony was about to begin, and the woman who was her lawyer came in, and she said, and she felt betrayed, yelling, "How can you do this to me? You look like that." And the scene, and she was escorted out of the. Hey, hello, Chief Seats. How are you?
Hey,
A-
chief.
And and she was out of the church like that, and she went home with
Hmm.
rage and like that. She drowned her children in her in the local pond.
Right, right. That's the story that I heard.
Yeah,
Um,
and the man and the
and they
police
say that she's. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and they say also that the local priest did not want to gave her a decent burial funeral. The local
Right,
priest said no, because of her of a horrible crime that she committed.
right.
You know, because she was
Because
sentenced. Yeah,
the church. looks down on us to look was real big on their beliefs and back then, and
Yeah.
they were really they're still today they're down on certain things. But yeah,
Ex-
that's the story that I have heard, and that she
yeah.
uh you can see her wandering around looking for her children and all
Yeah.
this. But I
Yeah.
didn't know if anybody had actually ever witnessed it, or if that was just one of those stories that they like to tell to
No,
scare the
no.
kids.
There's many versions. Many countries in Latin America have their own, but this is a Mexican
A lot about the
and the
Lechuza, the La
oh,
Lechuza, the
that's
Lechuza.
that's
That's
a
real.
woman.
It's
That's
a
the southern part
witch.
of Mexico. She's like a
Uh,
witch, and she appears to any single man who is who he's a ladies' man and cheats on
mm,
his wife and like that.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
It
also
goes.
go ahead.
Oh, there's all kinds of stories, Max.
Yeah, I've
There's
also
the
heard from some friends of ours that who the guy is part Mexican, his mother's from Mexico,
yeah,
and they say that whoever the La Lechuza appears to, or if they show up at the person's house, then and they've done wrong, then retribution will be coming. And I know they say that she takes her revenge out on men. She appears as an owl and then changes into this old haggly looking witch.
exactly. That's it.
And I know that for a fact. I'll tell you about what happened in private
Yeah,
sometimes. But I love to talk about these old stories that the different cultures
yeah,
talk about. And a lot of them are done to scare the children, but a lot of them are, some of them are true. And you know
yeah.
that.
Well, yeah, there's some of them could be true. Like there's this one out of Tijuana where I'm from because I've been here since 1978. The town, and the story that I told is from the same town also from the same park because that park right there. I don't know if you ever you, I mean you heard of him. A rock singer, famous. Everybody knows who he is. Latino.
Who?
He's named after me. He's named after me. You know who?
Hmm. Not right offhand. You'll have to give me a name.
Santana.
Oh my God, I love Santana.
Santana. Actually, let me tell you the story. That same park where that creepy man hangs around.
Mhm.
Hey, hello, Big Tender, 1982. How are you, man?
Hi, tender honey.
So, where's Santana? Where that creepy man I was telling you guys about just recently, hanging around, the ghost. Well,
Mm.
Santana, when he was in his youth, the first time he ever heard a rock and roll band was actually playing at the park when he first said, "Hey, hello, Boston
Wow.
girl. How are you?"
Hi, Boston girl.
Yeah,
I really like. I love Santana. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. These kids nowadays, they don't know what music is. I'm sorry, but they don't. You know. Um,
yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah, I didn't realize. I knew you were in Mexico, but I didn't realize you were in Tijuana.
No,
Hey,
no, no,
Boston girl,
no,
Bridget.
no. Well, actually, I live here in California, but actually, I was born in Mexico. I've been here
Yeah.
since 1978.
Uh,
Came here when I was around about 12.
well, is it bad? As bad in Tijuana as they claim it is?
Well, let me see. It's not as bad. All you have to do is, if you really know somebody and people there, where to go, it won't be bad. But if you just wander around and you don't know where you're going, it can be really bad.
In other words, mind your business and either have somebody with you that you know that knows the area, or you better know where you're going yourself.
Exactly, exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
that's what I was wondering because
Yeah,
I've heard it was bad in Tijuana.
Yeah. Oh,
Unless,
yeah, it is. It is. But it was a time that wasn't that bad. It was a time I remember as a kid living over there. I'm gonna tell you,
mhm,
it was around like 8 o'clock at night, and you can go to the local park and see
uh,
people, kids playing. You know,
wow,
teenagers basketball, little kids playing in the swings and everything, and that and the swings, and it was like 8 o'clock at night, and people were still there.
well, you don't see that over in the U.S. I can tell you that, unless it's
Nah,
in a
you don't see
small
that
town.
now. Around that time, oh no way! Especially in a bad neighborhood, you don't see
Oh
that.
yeah,
I mean, at that time, kids playing at 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock. I mean, this was back in 1975. I'm talking.
right. That was back when we still had our innocence. You
Yeah. Oh
know,
yeah.
I was 10 in 75. That's when we still had our innocence. Children
Yeah.
were able to be children. It was safe for them to go out and be children, unlike now.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Yeah. I
those
used
were
to
the
walk to
good old
school.
days.
That was gold days. I used to walk to school several blocks. I never had a problem with nobody call or trying to kidnap me or anything. I never had a problem. As a
Right.
matter
I
of
mean,
fact,
those,
yeah,
we were able to have a childhood,
yeah,
unlike these kids now. Um, you didn't have to worry about none of that here. Now you got to worry about the sex traffickers because I'm in Texas.
yeah,
You got to worry about the sex traffickers. You got to worry about the drug lords and this and that and this and that, just like you do over there. But y'all have the
yeah,
drug wars there worse than we have them in Texas.
yeah.
And you know, and I will say Mexico is a very interesting place. I love hearing about it. They've got a lot of interesting stories, a lot of
It has a lot of
history,
beautiful places to visit. It has
and
some beautiful,
yeah,
uh,
Texas used to be part of Mexico years ago.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Texas is still it could still be considered. I mean, a province of Mexico.
yeah, yeah. Texas, yeah, Texas was used to be part of Mexico, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But Mexico has its own, has a lot of good places to visit. A lot of there's a lot of historical places like museums and to see old Indian ruins and everything over there.
Right.
Right.
Um, you know, um, oh God, I forgot what they're called now. I've heard so many different things about, you know, stories from Mexico. What is it called? The Bruja.
Oh, Bruja witches.
Yes.
Yes,
And a
witches.
lot
There's a
of
lot of
people, yes, Brujas. And a
yes,
lot of people are like, what are that? I said, that's witches. And they can either be your friend or they will be nasty.
exactly,
A lot of
exactly.
them
Very
have a
true.
very dark side. They practice the old ways. And there's actually a movie out on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it, but I watched it with some people about a girl that went back to Mexico as a reporter and visited the Bruja
Oh, hello,
that
Helen.
tried to kill her father or her
Hmm.
mother was one of them. And I'm gonna tell you something. If I can remember it, I'll give you the name. That
Okay.
movie was wicked. I think Karen watched it with me. And that was one of those
Yeah.
movies we had to break up into two parts. It was very
Oh, yeah.
intense and it was very realistic.
There's this video I saw on YouTube the last week here about these two kids who were like supernatural hunt amateur,
Mhm.
supernatural hunters. They go out, they want their smartphones and take pictures and everything. And they came upon, they say, a witch, in this they came upon this witch, in some rural farm, some place. I don't know what, like rural place,
Mhm.
and there was this witch. I tell you, she was actually she was actually uh, 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 um, um, holding what it was fireballs, and they show
Hmm.
that, and the guys, and you better believe that the two guys fucking freaked. I mean, they were freaked out. They say,
Did they
"Hey, look at that
show
dude!"
it, or are
Yeah,
they just?
yeah, they showed. Yeah,
I
see,
need the link. I
you.
need the link to that. I need the link to
Yeah,
the.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to find it right after I finish the broadcast later. I'm gonna try to find it, and I don't know it won't fit easy, but it's kind of scary. I mean, if you watch it at night, oh my god, it's really scary. I tell you.
Right. Well, I don't know
Yeah,
if you knew this or not, but I'm real big into paranormal stuff.
yeah,
And I'm the old legends and stuff. I love hearing these old
yeah,
stories and legends about these different things from different cultures. I mean, so many have, you know, there's so many stories from so many different cultures. They have their own stories, their own beliefs. But me being close to Mexico,
yeah,
of course, I'm getting educated and all this stuff, and I have from the past 11 years. And
yeah,
it's like, wow. And then I'm like, I'll see stuff, wow, these people are stupid. They're really going here and messing with this, knowing that,
yeah,
I've seen some crazy stuff on YouTube too. That,
yeah,
yeah, I've always wondered about the La Llorona, if that was, just a story to scare the kids, or if that was real.
yeah. Well, it is. It's been around for generations in Mexico. There's even a song about La Llorona. It
I
goes
know,
like a full Llorona, papa. It's here on YouTube. You can listen to it in Spanish.
right.
There's another story that I always share that happened back in the early '50s in Tijuana. That happened in the cemetery, and that same cemetery. One YouTuber. I don't know if you know who Rosie Kelly is. Yeah.
I know,
And
Rosie. I love Rosie.
you know who? I mean, you seen her videos?
Yes, I watch her sometimes. I've been
Yeah,
watching
okay.
her for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, about a while back, I think several months ago, 6 months ago, she went down there and she took
Hmm.
and she went on a live stream and she visited the cemetery, that a story that I'm about to tell. Yeah. There was the stories about this girl, young girl who acts like you like Llorona. It's different, but it's different. But there was this young girl who her name was Enriqueta Henrietta Gill. This
Hmm.
was like back in 1929 or something. Enriqueta's, her parents were, lived in the neighborhood they live. It's the kind of neighborhood to this day, believe it or not, I still get goosebumps. Hello, Speedy. How are you, Speedy? And the such that. And so story starts. Let's see. I'm gonna try to. I'm just gonna try to mod. Got it. He's mod. Okay.
If you
So
hear something, somebody talking in the background, I'm sorry. My husband's in here having to get onto the cat.
oh,
We're
okay,
trying to
okay.
steal food. Trying to
Oh,
steal
okay.
tuna.
Oh, too, okay. Oh, yeah. Those cats can be something.
Yes.
Okay. So
All
the
right.
girl, the young girl, falls in love with this poor guy, this poor man, and the father didn't like that. Just same story. Didn't like that, and she was devastated and heartbroken because her dad didn't want it. So she decided to lock herself in her room because depressed. She didn't want to talk to no one. And one time, and then as days went by, hours went by, the parents got a little suspicious. Hey, where's Enriqueta? How come she hasn't been around here? What? Oh, she's probably out. No, no, no. Okay, why don't we check her room? So they check her room, and she was like all frail and
Oh my
she
God.
couldn't breathe. She didn't have any. She didn't have any food like that. She was very. And then the father grabbed her and told her, "What do you want, sweetheart? anything you want. So you got, I'll give you. I want to marry the man that I want her, and her father. I mean, believe it or not, said no way, no way.
Wow.
And she
They
wrote a
made a
suicide letter because she was dying, and her
they made a
suicide.
movie about this story.
Yeah, and she wrote
Cause
a
I
suicide that said that
um,
said I'll be back
uh,
someday. I will be back. I know life is not good now, and since I was back, boom, and then 20, and then years later, like in the early 50s, there was this young guy by the name of I think it's Juan Zamora, something Zamora. He was from out of town. He was lives with his cousin and his wife, and he was working. He was working in a local supermarket or some local market. So one day he went to the movies. Um, he took he took a late show. He got the bus and he walked 2 blocks, to where and he had to walk 2 or 3 blocks to where to where he lived at the time. As he was walking, he was approaching the cemetery, and this young lady tells him, "Can you help? Uh, can you uh, can you please take me to my home? I'm kind of lost." "Oh, yeah, sure. Where do you live at?" Over there and that. "Oh, you live in Cemetery? Okay, you probably must uh uh are the a caretaker's daughter or something or somebody else. Yeah. Okay, hold on." So they go there, and the girl and the gates were closed because this was real late, and the and and as he noticed, the girl, well, as she was closed, her hands went right through the gates,
mhm.
and he saw it. And he said, "What the hell is this?" And then he tried to run, but he couldn't. The girl grabbed him. Said, "Oh wait, what the fuck? Hey, let me go, let me go." He struggled. He says, "Let me go, let me go," and he just passed out. The next morning, there was a lot of people around. They thought he was some dead drunk who just passed out on the street.
Mhm.
He went home and he decided, "No way, this is not for me. I'm gonna pack my bags and go back to my hometown. This is not for me." And he was never been seen ever again.
Right.
Yeah,
And well, see, there was this. I had heard the story, and
yeah,
then I think Karen watched the movie with me on that too. We watched the movie, and it was based on that story about a
yeah,
girl that her father denied her to marry a gentleman, and she
yeah,
locked herself in the room, and they went to visit to check on her, and the same situation as that one.
yeah,
But she was so angry and she went out of her mind. So he kept her there locked away and tried to take care of her. And he would lock her up in a room, lock her in the house, and then leave and then come back. And when she died, or before she died, she swore she would never let anyone rest that lived in that house or in her family that preceded her, that outlived her.
yeah.
And
Interesting.
somehow these kids, one of these kids I think they were college students.
Yeah,
Somebody was related to her or something, and they went in there and rented the house and stayed, and they were going to investigate. And man, she dragged their ass. They were scared.
yeah,
But it was supposed to be based on the true story, and I remember hearing the story about that
mm.
from my
Oh,
friend Diana.
yeah. I mean, it's just because this story. Funny that the house where the girl lived,
Yeah.
uh, uh, the house where she lived, because uh, she lived in a place in and a street called Mutualismo, and that street's still there, but the house where she was there right now is an empty. I think it's a parking lot or something. Now they have it,
So the house
and
is
then
gone.
yeah, the house gone because it became a commercial area now. Commercial area now. And the next house they moved on Fifth Street, right about the a few blocks from the Grand Cinema movie theater. And I always have this trivia that I give people every time. So the last movie I ever saw there. Let me give you the trivia. I'm gonna say it. It's very easy trivia. Anybody guess? Because it's where since all of us here are from the '70s know about it. Well, are familiar with the movies. I'm gonna name three movies. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that area. Okay. Okay. The first movie is The Poseidon Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
The second movie is Rocky, and the third movie is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. What's
Mm-hmm.
name the movie that I saw there? The last movie I ever saw of all those three movies.
Probably. Damn. It was Poseidon or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, and
I don't know. You might have seen all three.
well, no, okay,
I
I'll
feel
tell
it.
you.
I get that you. I get that you. You know, you like to go to the movies, so that you might be a big movie buff. So I don't know. You
Okay,
know.
I'll give you the third one, and the third one is a right,
Okay.
and that's yeah, it's the Grand Cinema. I'm gonna put later on as days go by, I'm gonna put photos of those places and those
Oh
places.
yes.
I'm gonna put photos of the theater, the movie theater. To this day, even if I walk around there, goosebumps, man, because
Because
that's
it's
because
probably
there's a lot of
haunted bigger than hell.
yeah, okay, yeah, because the house also that had like a crooked window or something. The house
Hmm.
and that house used to belong to they say a doctor there, and his mother lived in that house, and the doctor had his house up there, I think his house, and on the side he had his medical office,
Hmm.
and they say that the doctor did something I don't know what. Then they say his ghost appears in that story, man. And there's another one about an American gambler who goes down to water back in the 30s or 40s,
Hmm.
and he gets uh, and he makes and he hears a story about this horse that's gonna be caliente. Back then, if you've seen the movie Seabiscuit, so
Hmm.
Seabiscuit, have you seen it?
Yes, I have. I love that
The,
movie.
okay, and remember Seabiscuit shows that the Seabiscuit ran uh over Caliente, the old Caliente in Tijuana.
Hmm.
And then there was this American gambler named I don't know the name, but he was like and he heard about this horse that was going to run
Hmm.
in the this certain race, and people were saying this horse was good. He was good, but he was like he had odds. The odds were like 40-1 or 50-1 in the race. So he went to so he was so concerned. He was so happy with this horse. So he visited he went to the horse stables and he talked to one of the one of the trainers or something who
Right.
ended it, and they talked to him and he said, "Oh, sir, man, sir, you're gonna win a lot of money with this horse, man. This one, you could bet everything up, man. You could just go." Yeah, sure. He was excited. All right, the race came. Puts he bets, puts a lot of money, and he wins. Yeah, yeah, right. He wins. Again. And for some reason, he says, "Well, man, I like the U.S. Okay, but I'm gonna come back tomorrow and cash in my ticket." So I was thinking, all right, man, I'll take you to the border so you can come. And they aboard this bus, to the border,
Right.
and the American man suddenly dies from an apparent heart attack, and his friend and his notice that nobody's watching him in the bus, and he reaches the man's coat pocket, and he grabs a ticket and disappears,
Mm,
never to be seen again. And several years later, a woman got on the bus, got on the same bus, and
right.
she saw this gentleman, wear like a sort of like fedora hat and everything, smoking a cigar. And, in those days, there was no big deal smoking cigars, anything like that. And the woman started talking with this man. For some reason, the man, he was he acted very very unpolite. Blew some smoke her, blew some smoke, blew smoke on the lady's eyes, and the lady just had to go there and blink. And when she noticed,
Mm.
the man disappeared. What the hell?
Oh my
And the
God.
woman and the woman freaked out. She told the driver, "Hey, look, man, what's going on here, man? What's going on? There's some guy who just disappeared." And the driver is shocked and said, "Lady, you just witnessed, you just witnessed the gambler goes, the gambling goes. Just witnessed the
Yes.
gambling goes."
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the guy's there was looking for his ticket, winning ticket, because the ticket was stolen from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the friend, betrayed him. The friend actually betrayed him. He
I
stole
wonder
the
if that
ticket.
ticket. I wonder if that guy ever cashed that ticket in and took it.
Oh, I don't know. Could be. The story was never seen. They say he was never seen again or something. He probably did. He probably
No, he
kept
ran
the
for the
ticket.
hills, honey. He ran for the
Yeah.
hills.
Could be.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
there's so many stories, and there's a lot of legends, and then there's a lot of real places that really have activity, and then there's always an alleged, and then there's the real truth.
Yeah.
And you look into the old buildings and old theaters, especially.
Oh yeah. I remember back in my day, back in Q1, I had a lot of these big theaters, and I remember I used to scared. I used to be. I don't know what, but sitting up in the walking to the balcony, just I don't know, just kind of scared the hell out of me.
Yeah. Well, we had one back home, and
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I took dancing and all this stuff. And every
Mm.
year we did a summer show, a summer review show. It was a bunch of
Mhm.
different um, studios and stuff that got together. And the
Yeah.
old Thayen Hall, and you can look it up online. Thayen Hall is online. It's in Wilmington, North
Oh,
Carolina.
okay.
It's
I'll
beautiful
check.
now. But there's a lot of stories behind that. But we witnessed that night. Once you get behind stage, it's not pretty. It's creepy. I mean, creepy
Oh
as
man.
hell back there. Yeah, and I would get in the dressing room,
Yeah.
and people were getting touched, makeup was getting moved,
Wow.
all kinds of stuff was getting moved, and when they warned us during rehearsal, they said if you see or hear anything, let us know because we don't want you to get scared. But and a lot of us like, look, we grew up around here, we know the legends.
Yeah.
Um, there was a woman that played there that died, and her life was in that theater. And this theater used to be the only one in town. It was either a play or they turned it into a movie house and the screen would drop down.
Yeah.
Well, she died one night in her dressing room, and nobody found her. They closed it up for the weekend. Nobody found her until
Oh
Monday.
God. Oh my
But
God.
the thing is she always said that when she died, that she would never leave that theater. Her spirit would always be there. And they see her still today, walking across the stage, going around like she's inspecting the makeup that they're using on people, things like that, because this woman's a perfectionist. But there's also a thing, the old thunder machines that was like a big steel ball they would roll down a
Yeah.
track. Well, way upstairs in the attic thing, there's an old one. It was the original to the building. I forget what year it was built. Um, the big ball, what was like a cannonball, is locked up somewhere else.
Yeah.
But you can hear that thing every now and then. It'll
Yeah.
go off. And when it goes off, the next thing that happens, the lights start flickering back and forth, on and off. The old gas lights that you know, they've still got little gas lights in this place. And like
Yeah.
every other light's been replaced with electric. And there's no gas going to the others, but they'll come on.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's some real creepy stuff in there. You see people, you see a man and a woman up in the balcony. Um,
Oh man, I can imagine those stories. Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. But where I grew up in Wilmington, that place is full of ghosts,
Yeah.
especially downtown historic district, the old houses. And
Oh,
so, I was raised around that. My great grandmother's house was haunted, and that used to be an old doctor's house and with an office in it. And I mean, there was some creepy stuff that went on.
yeah.
But I love stuff like this, and I love to hear the old stories.
Yeah. That in Mexico, there's this Mexico City, actually. There's this uh, wrestling arena that's been, that was built back in 1956,
Uh
and
huh.
then in 1957 they filmed a horror movie there, that creepy horror movie, but that's not all. In the
Hmm.
70s, that arena was used as a circus. When the circus came to town, circus they used to use that as a circus, just like the
Right.
old Ringling Brothers would use local sports, that.
Right.
And there was this. The story has it that there was this short man, midget, who uh, um, who um, who falls in love with an acrobat girl.
Hmm.
He falls in love, and the acrobat girl didn't like him. Started laughing at him, teasing him, saying, "Oh, I wouldn't get you if you were I would if you were the last man on earth," and laughing at him. He felt, heartbroken, his feelings hurt, and everything. So and so, because he really loved this woman, and uh and 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 he committed, like suicide. And legend has it that they still see him walking down the hall of the arena of the arena. They have him. They see him walking. They see him going around. And it's just
Wow.
a major. Yeah, yeah. And here's another funny story. A funny story. This old gentleman, and he's in his 70s. He told me a story when he was in his youth or kid. He went to go see the movie, The Thing,
Uh,
not the Thing movie from the recently movie from an 80s movie from John Carpenter, the original one.
right.
It's called A Thing from Another Planet. I don't know if you know,
I
but
remember that.
yeah, he said he would go see it, and he went on a, in a lake. He went in a lake to go see it.
Mm,
He had to walk home. He had to walk several blocks and climb this hill that had stairs to go to walk this hill to go to his house. I mean, he had a long walk to go. Oh my God, to reach his house. I, I used to do the same thing too back then too. Well, not back in the 50s, but back in the 70s. And he said
right.
when he went to go see that movie, when he reached the stairs, when he got to the stairs, because in Mexico you see they have these public stairs that you can walk, walk, like
Right.
public stairs. most stairs that you see here are places that you see in your house or in some property or some outside. You see stairs, but these public stairs that divide and where they have or houses or there's a lot of hills in the city, and they have these public stairs where people can walk. And he said when he reached the stairs and it was dark, he said he ran like hell. He was so scared of the monster from that movie, from the thing from the he went down like that. Yeah,
Well, there's some.
yeah,
Look up the Legend of Joe Baldwin or the Mako tracks
yeah.
from North Carolina.
The legend.
Joe Baldwin
I think I've
or
heard of that.
the Meg. What happened is he worked for the rail yard,
Yeah.
and anyway, he was. I can't remember if he fell off the train or what. I think he did one night and got his head cut off.
Hmm.
And I've seen it. I mean, it's been around for years. My dad's seen it. My mom's, everybody's seen it. That's when my dad and my mom were teenagers. That's back where they used to all go. The tracks have been torn up, but you could still go down there, and they can't really say what it is. They tried to say it's car lights and stuff like that. I've never seen car lights sway back and forth before. It looks like somebody walking up the tracks and he's swaying that lantern back and forth looking for his head. If you try to approach him, it disappears.
Oh my God.
Uh, but there's also a legend of a witch, and supposedly she was in my family, according to what my dad told me, that her son was the first outlaw reported in Brunswick County and in North Carolina.
Hmm.
And he was a really bad dude. And she went to New York to learn to practice witchcraft to protect him and came back and cursed everybody that came near her house. And she lived right there around the same area that the light shone. And the old cabin, uh, it was there until I was about 25, and it was all to pieces, but they finally had to clean it up. It just fell in. But anybody that pulled up to those tracks and tried to cross in their car would die. And they still say that when they go in that area that they can hear her doing her incantations and that she'll come out and chase them with a knife and all kinds of crazy stuff. Um,
Oh my God.
I had never got screwed with her because I figured she's supposed to be related. I'm supposed to be related to her, or she's supposed to be related to me both ways. Uh, that was probably one mean crazy bitch
Yeah, I
because I know
bet.
how that side of the family was. My dad said that
Mm.
he and my mom went to see her a few times, and she was a sweet old lady, but they kept trying to harass her because of her son, because he was bad, and she was like 113 when she died.
Oh my God. Ooh. But there's a Mexican saying that says, "Bad plant never dies."
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, um, I don't remember meeting her,
Mm. So
but
she
my
was like
dad said
your. So she
she
was
was
like
a
your. She
she
was
was like
your
a
dad's.
on
So
my
she was
dad's
your dad. So she
she
was
was
your
like
dad's
a cousin or some shit. I think he said she was a cousin.
cousin of your dad. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. She was real old. She was ancient.
Oh
Crazy old lady.
yeah.
But
I remember.
I keep trying to remember her because I keep thinking about that story. And all my mom can remember is She made really damn good cookies.
Oh, I bet.
And
I bet.
that I loved her cookies.
Oh,
Of course, my mom, she's tries to be a Bible thumper and everything's of the devil and this and
yeah,
that. And she was scared of her potions and stuff, but I ain't scared of no potions. you
yeah,
know, if it's in
exactly.
the blood, it's in the blood. Hi, Windorf.
Exactly.
How are you, honey? Uh,
Hey, how are you, Windorf?
you know,
So,
but I am. There's certain things that I'm fascinated with
well,
as
there's
far
like,
as
yeah, there's like stories, a lot of these, uh, um, you know, scary stories. There's this one that's from my grandmother's village in Mexico. This goes
uh,
back to the 70s or something, or early 70s or 60s.
mhm.
There was this, well,
Excuse me.
where my aunt, okay, where, where my aunt lives right now, lives in the same block and around the corner,
Mhm.
there was this lady, this older lady who used to tell scary stories, and kids would go to her living room, or outside, or stand on the porch and listen to her stories. And when she
Right.
finished the stories, guess what? And when she finished the stories, and all the kids went home, all the kids would run home like crazy.
Unlock the door, I bet.
Yeah. Oh shit, they ran home like crazy. Oh, and here's a funny one. This is a funny one. It's kind of scary and funny. It actually happened to a friend of mine. A very good friend of mine.
Right.
Yeah, a friend of mine. Yeah, a friend of mine named Oscar. He's about like 10 years older than I am. See, the story happened back then. He was a friend of my cousin when they were like, and one time he went to my cousin's house one night, like they always did.
Mhm.
With kids, hang around, drinking,
Oh yeah.
talk, talk, all that kind of stuff. And they were drinking, blah 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 blah. And Oscar at that time lived a block away, just one block away from the house. And drinking. And Oscar said, "Hey guys, I gotta go, man. I gotta call, and I gotta go home, man. I'm going home, man. I'm tired." He was all right, man. Well, home. He walks home, and when he reaches the corner, he sees a mule, a donkey standing there. He sees the donkey, and he freaks out. And
Oh
he freaks
Lord.
out, and he runs back to my cousin's house, and he locks the door. Open up the door! Open the door! The donkey's there! The donkey's there! What's up? What's up? And my aunt comes out, gives him water with sugar, so he can so he won't so his blood pressure won't go down or something. That
Yeah.
water with sugar. I don't know what is that remedy for. I never heard of that, but
That's to
that's
keep
how
your
they do it
sugar
down
from
there.
going too low.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh
you use
yeah.
to use blood sugar.
Yeah. And she gave him blood with sugar, water with sugar. And we said, what happened? What happened? What happened? Ah, I saw the donkey over there, man. The donkey. What? I saw a donkey. Yeah, and there was a donkey there, really, but it wasn't the donkey they were telling. They say there was a donkey going around who would kick you, and the donkey would actually laugh at you.
Oh my God. I think
Yeah,
I've heard about something like this.
yeah, I know. But the donkey that he saw was a regular donkey that he saw.
Oh my God. Yeah, the
And guess
laugh.
what?
I think I've heard the laughing donkey story.
Yeah,
Or several of them. It's just that laughs at
yeah,
you, and then
yeah.
sometimes you have bad luck.
Yeah. He took the monkey with a real thing. But one other funny thing is he saw the town drunk, dead, laying down in the corner, drunk there too.
Oh shit.
That drunk was actually the town drunk was actually my uncle.
Oh my God.
Yes, my grandmother's kid brother.
Is there a lot of caves in the around there?
Oh,
Is there jungle in Mexico?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, see,
As a matter of
that's where
fact,
that movie took place, where that uh the Bruja was at. She was
yes,
living in
yes,
lived
that's
in a
in,
cave.
yes. Yeah, Cape. Yes, that's in places in the southern, mostly in the southern part of Mexico, like in state of Veracruz. And Veracruz is
That's
actually
it.
the first, yeah,
That's it. That's it.
yep, Veracruz. Yeah. People don't know that Veracruz is the oldest modern, like city hall city
Uh-huh.
in the Western Hemisphere, much older than the Jamestown.
Right. I
Yeah.
would love I would love to experience something like that though.
Oh,
But
Veracruz is good for,
that's the
yeah,
the meeting with the Bruja,
yeah,
because with my Native American side, I've been to Sweat Lodge, I've been on Journey,
yeah.
I've done all of that, and it's all
Hmm.
a different experience. It shows you the past, or it'll show you the
Yeah,
present, or it'll show you the future. And they have the ability to do that with the herbs that the Bruja work with.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They have
I
also
don't,
in Mexico.
yeah,
Hmm. Well, in
I don't,
Mexico they have.
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go. Okay, I'll go ahead. In Mexico, they have this thing that they have this thing where if you're down in luck,
Uh-huh.
like we all go in life, we all on luck this or that. We go to see a bruja or anything. I don't know,
Mm,
and that bruja would give us a clean. And that clean is to take all the bad luck and evil spirits that probably haunted us, and she or he will use plants,
right,
and he will like rub the plants around our bodies, go play that shit,
right.
huh? And they call that a clean. Yeah, a
Yes.
lot of people take that seriously, and they do that when they down the luck. I see it down there a lot. I've seen it down there a lot, even on TV, on the mainstream TV down there. People actually promote that thing. Like, what the fuck you see?
Well, I need to go see one then, especially with all this crap that's going on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to
A
send
lot of,
some of that evil back to the people that are putting it out and let them experience what karma is really
yeah.
like.
Oh yeah, karma can really get you. There was a story. There was this kid I used to know in school. He was a bully. He was a bully. He bullied a lot of people. And years later, when he was a grown man, and he was a married
Yeah.
man, grown man. One time he was walking home, and these guys came and they beat the crap out of him, thinking he was they missed somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, karma got him.
Well, see, I believe in this stuff. I mean, people might
Yeah,
think I'm crazy for doing it, but they can believe all they want. I believe in this stuff. I've studied
yeah,
a lot of different things. That's
yeah.
all I'm saying in public. You and I will talk in private sometime, just one on one. But
Okay, sure we do. Sure we will. Sure.
I believe in that. And one of the girl that used to come in and help me from a nursing agency has become like family. She is from Mexico,
Mhm.
or her family is. Well, she's moved away now, but we used to discuss all this stuff, and um, we had some very interesting conversations. Needless to say, but the bruja that I had, the bruiser has some they call them bruisers. Though it was,
Yeah.
over here, the bruja, they she had a friend. It's a really old woman that was one, and I met her one time, and that's when the day that I started believing in them because of some things that happened. But people laugh at this stuff and think it's no joke. They need to take this stuff serious because it's real. And one
Yeah.
day, they say you have to see it to believe it. You have to experience it to believe it for some
True.
people.
That's true. Yeah. When I was a kid, I remember my mom was watching TV. This was like in the afternoon,
Hmm.
and she was watching this soap opera on TV. And there was this scene, though, there was this lady that went inside this house, and she started like talking to to herself, "Oh," and my mother said to me, look, that's a witch right there. What the fuck? That really freaked me out.
Yeah. Well, it's just like
Yeah,
in the Italian culture. My nonna is she's a gypsy,
yeah,
and we have our stories too. We have our beliefs. The Native
yeah.
American side does as well.
Mm.
I'm half Italian, half Cherokee.
Speaking of talent, most people, you know, Mexican and Italian have similar things in the culture, similar things.
Yes, they do.
For example, let me tell you the word. Okay, for example, when you hear the word in those mob movies, they say the Don, the boss, the Don.
Hmm.
In reality, you know what Don means in reality?
What?
Don is a person, a man who's middle age, and
Yes.
you call him Don as a form of respect.
Just like you call an older gentleman godfather as a
Exactly.
form of respect. It's
Yes,
just like
exactly.
saying mother, father, mom,
Yeah.
dad.
Actually,
Um,
yes, exactly. In my culture, people call me Don Carlo. It doesn't mean I'm an. It doesn't mean. It doesn't mean I have people killed or I'm an organized crime. No, it's just a way of.
right.
And most people that Hollywood, that's what's messing around. They think that's no, it's not true.
Hollywood
But
has really blown shit out of proportion, and you know that as well as I do. That's what
yeah,
I keep telling people.
yeah,
When I say my godfather, to think that somebody's going to come knock on their damn door and yank them out of the house.
oh yeah,
I keep telling him, no, he doesn't announce himself. He just shows up in your face. Because I got tired of hearing it. I really did.
yes,
But
Hollywood could do that too. There was this actor years ago. He played this really bad guy in this movie, really bad guy that people hated him and everything. And when he
mm,
finished, a year later, he did after the movie was released, he decided to go on vacation like everyone else. So he went to this town in Mexico City, Puebla, and Puebla is known as for its the birthplace of chicken mole, delicacy from Mexico,
I
dish.
love chicken mole.
Yeah, that's the mole that comes from and everything. A lot of stuff in Puebla. I think it's their sausage in Mexico. No, no, no. Wait a minute. It's their sweet potato, called camote. They got a lot of things. Really great state. And he was walking down the street and one day, on his vacation, like taking a vacation, and several people saw him and they say, "Look who's hey, you recognize him? He's from that movie. Yeah, the bad guy." Yeah. And you know what they did to him?
Tried to kill him.
The, they tried to kill him, lynch him, and lucky enough, the cops came in and arrested him.
And it was just an actor.
He was just an actor, a actor.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And
They,
people take it too serious. I know.
yeah, seriously, yeah, they took him. They saw him. They tried to lynch him.
Well, Marlon Brando, when he played in the first Godfather,
Yeah,
he, from what I understand, he actually had people try to put his out on him when
yeah.
they see him
Well,
out in public because they thought, oh my God, he's a bad person. He's a bad person. He's not just playing a part, he's telling his life story. No, he wasn't telling his life story. He was getting paid very well to act, and he did a damn good job and portray what the
mm,
American people had in their heads that
I
it
never
was
knew
like
about that.
to be in a powerful family of the Italian culture
Yeah,
that was into organized crime.
yeah, right.
It's like, come on, people, wake up. I'm so tired of having to deal with stupidity over my lineage. And it's like, I've Noni's grandmother, Godfather is, well, you know what? Godfather's
Yeah,
especially the Italian or the Catholic Church, and even other religions. The children have godparents.
Yeah, and Godfather means a lot of things too, not just people use it also as somebody who gave him his first uh, job in construction or something. Somebody will help them out.
Right.
That's considered a
Yeah.
Godfather also.
They take them under their wing like a
Yeah,
father son or father and daughter relationship, and basically a mentor. And you know, when you when you're a God have godparents or another family like that,
yeah,
they become your family. And
exactly.
when that happens with a small child, when they you know name the godparents, all that says is if something happens to one of the parents or both of the parents, they will see to it that that child is taken care of. And if there's a parent remaining, they will assist that parent in raising that child and supporting that child.
Exactly.
Or they will take the child into their home and they will raise him as their own.
Exactly. They say the father's parents died. The Godfather becomes responsible for
Hmm.
the child. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
And it's just there's there's so many misinterpretations of things in this world. It's pathetic,
yeah.
and a lot of them's right here on YouTube
Exactly. A lot of it's YouTube every word.
because you got a lot of stupidity running around, and it's just like some of this stuff we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Um, People don't believe. Like I said, seeing is believing. Will experience and will damn sure wake you up. You go witness a bruja working their magic, or go to New Orleans to the back alleyways and hit a real voodoo or Santeria ceremony and things like that. You're looking at some of the oldest religions in the world, and you know the bruja was around a long time before Christianity even came into play.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes back to ancient Greece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stories that come out of there. A lot of people have been cursed, and when they die, if they were a bad person, their spirit stuck. Even sometimes when they're a good person, and that's how these stories are formed, legend
Hmm.
and history. And the thing of it is, you never know if it's true or not. Some of them are true, some of them are not. But I would say it's about a 90-10. They're true.
Hmm.
They
Exactly.
stem from something else. They come from something else.
Hmm.
That's what they say. Old legends never die.
Exactly. Well, legends never die.
People need to wake up and they need to study the folklore of
Yeah.
all the different cultures and understand it and listen to the stories because
Exactly.
you never know when something might hit home.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm a believer. I've always been a believer. I've been called crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I just know what I believe. I know how I was raised. I know what I was exposed to. I know what I saw as a child and when I lived down in Miami and we traveled to the islands on weekends. And this stuff is very real. And these stories are very real. All legends end up coming to life in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I'm interested in hearing about some of the beliefs from the jungles and things like that.
Yeah.
You could actually go in and do some research and dig information up and share it And that would go back hundreds of years.
Yeah.
But there's never an end to these stories because
Yeah.
there's new legends and new spirit ghost stories being born every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. True. Everywhere, every culture.
Hmm. But me being so close to the Mexican border,
Yeah.
I'm just a few hours away. I'm scared to come into Mexico right now because I don't want to get, there's been stories of kidnapping and things like that of
Yeah.
tourists by the cartel.
Mhm.
Um, but that doesn't mean I want to stop learning because that information is out there about these legends, about these stories, and it's like a crave. You know, it's just like when I studied the Salem witch trials and all this other stuff. It's a crave for knowledge. But I would, if you ever come across any about the real old ones from the jungle and stuff,
Yeah.
please share them.
True. Man. Let's see if I think Boyd Wrestling's about to start.
The what?
Boyd Wrestling.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, go check it out, man. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
outside and smoke a cigarette. I really appreciate you having me up, Carlos.
Sure. Sure.
And I
Anytime you
love
come.
you,
Yeah, yeah,
sweetheart.
yeah.
You are
I
awesome.
love you too. Something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have to
Yes.
do
We'll
this
do this.
again.
Oh yeah. We're gonna do this all the time. Do this.
Sounds good. I'll see if I can dig up
Yeah.
some interesting stuff then.
Sure. Next time. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
All right, honey. Well, I
All
will
right.
catch you later tonight somewhere.
All right.
Bye,
All right.
Jack.
Take
Thanks
care.
for coming.
Take care, Allison.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks for coming. Bye bye. All right. Let's go ahead and check out Boyd Wrestling right now.